I'm Kyran, Wright. I currently sit on the Exco for Friends of the Liesbeek as a volunteer on their committee. I manage a nature reserve for the municipality in Cape Town. As an urban conservationist, I've applied my skills that I learned on the river to my current day job. My current role is managing an estuary, actually. So if you look at an estuary, it sits at the bottom of a catchment. So in terms of my career, I've managed source to sea in terms of our blue-green river corridors. And from my work with the Friends of the Liesbeek in my voluntary capacity as an Exco member, as well as my formally employed capacity from when I was a project manager for the maintenance project, I've certainly learned a lot of skills that I apply in my day-to-day job right now. I worked for Friends as a project manager around about 2013 for just under 3 years, after which I went to another non-profit organization called the Cape Town Environmental Education Trust, where I managed a portion of Cape Flats Sandfynbos, actually a former race course in Milnerton. But as an aside to my position there, I was also seconded to the municipality to manage the Milnerton Lagoon section of the Deep River. That is actually an estuary which gave me a few more skills which lined me up with my current role, which is at Zandvlei Nature Reserve. But certainly the processes that you find in a river, and specifically an urban river, lend themselves to understanding what's going on at the bottom of the catchment. A river will accumulate all of your issues. So we like to say that an urban river is symptomatic of the health of a society. Formalized protected areas are prolific throughout the city. But what we don't always cast our net over as conservationists are our urban waterways. That's what makes the Friends of the Liesbeek's role in the system so important. Whilst municipalities have a large amount of capacity, they can't cover everything. And where there are gaps, such as in our urban waterways, friends groups such as the Friends of the Liesbeek have opportunity to help with ecosystem services which have wide-ranging impacts further down the catchment, from both an ecological perspective, but as well as a socio-economic side of things. So truly, the Friends of the Liesbeek's work is critical to the health of waterways in the city, and specifically in this mini catchment in which we work. So the lessons that I learned on the Liesbeek River have lived with me throughout my career. I've been able to apply what I've learned about nutrient loads and cumulative impacts and litter, but also the impacts of on-the-ground action, and how small little contributions from different members and sectors of society can have a cumulative impact. Just like in the negative sense we have cumulative pollution impacts, we can have cumulative impacts of good. And that's what I've learned mainly from my role in Friends, and I'm trying to carry that through in the work that I carry out on a day-to-day basis. In the conservation sector, opportunities are quite few and far between for entry-level candidates for employment. Friends of the Liesbeek provided me with an opportunity to get experience on the ground working in these systems, which I was then able to apply and utilize in seeking further employment down the line. So what Friends of the Liesbeek does for low-income youth with limited career opportunities is provide them with experience, skills, semi-permanent employment, so that they can earn a living whilst gaining skills that then they can hopefully use to go on to bigger and better things. So not only are we uplifting the river and its direct communities, we're having a larger impact, and we're trying to uplift society in general, one small piece at a time, cumulatively, which will hopefully have a bigger impact as we move downstream.